Hey, 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 it's Thursday, it's 12 noon. I've forgotten to turn my emails off. Let me do that very quickly. Do you know what? I'm also a little concerned that my phone will go today. I've been waiting for a call all day from someone, and you just know that they're going to call at that exact moment. You're live on air. So anyway, ignore all that. It's Thursday, it's 12 noon. It's time for the Green Umbrella live lunch. Every week, as usual. This is episode 187. And Kim, we have a guest this week, don't we?
We do indeed. So we have somebody who has very quickly become one of my closest friends, and that's going to really massage the ego. Jess is the owner, founder of Become Bodywise. And I'll just let you introduce yourself, Jess. Go on.
So my name's Jess. As Kim said, I am the owner, founder of Become Bodywise. My business is around helping people become the best versions of themselves through improving their health and fitness, but also, more importantly, improving their mindset, which is huge when it comes to achieving your goals in any area of your life. So, yeah, that's me. Kim has froze, I think.
Have I froze? I'm all right.
It's a bit, yeah, my signal's a bit crazy. So, Jess, say that again. So it's the mindset. What the three things? Mindset.
So it's I work with people to become the best versions of themselves. So it's predominantly around improving their health and fitness. But in order to improve your health and fitness, it's around improving your mindset.
Cool. Gotcha. So you guys have worked together for a little while.
Since October?
Yeah, since October. So October, November, December, January. So 4 months.
4 months, yeah. And it's I would like to say it's been fun. It's been fun outside of the gym. Inside the gym, not so much. But Jess, tell us. So why do people come to you?
So people come to me when they want to. I specialise in weight loss. So the majority of the ladies that I work with come to me wanting to lose weight, but then there's lots of kind of subsections of that. So improving their confidence, improving their self-esteem, the way that they talk to themselves, the way that they think about themselves. It all kind of comes in hand. So yeah, predominantly weight loss, but then obviously we go a lot deeper into why they want to lose weight.
Okay.
Do you find that people have a bit of a mindset block when it comes to actually getting to the gym?
Absolutely. So even just getting started. So a lot of ladies that I speak to, it's that first initial step of, I need to make this change, but it's almost the fear of the unknown, the fear of failing, the fear of not being good enough. So that first step is really difficult to take. And then obviously once they've taken that first step, it's then taking that next step of going into a gym environment and starting to work towards their goals.
I imagine at the beginning of the year you had a bit of an influx of people, like, new year, new me and all that kind of stuff. And it's this point where people have already started to drop off. So what's your sort of advice to them?
So a lot of people obviously start New Year's resolutions and work towards new goals at the start of each year. And a lot of people go, oh God, here comes all the new people that have said new year, new me. But actually, I think that it's fantastic that people are setting those goals for themselves and wanting to become a better version of themselves. But a lot of people do it in a way that isn't sustainable. So they go, right, okay, I'm going to lose 5 stone. I'm going to not eat any chocolate, not eat any crisps. I'm going to go for a walk every day. I'm going to go to the gym every day. And it's just not sustainable. So what I would say is, if you're wanting to become a better version of yourself and improve your health and fitness, start small. Small steps equal big results. So set yourselves goals that are achievable. So it might be going for a walk once a week, for example. It might be being more mindful about what you're eating. So still eat the things that you enjoy, but just be more mindful about it. Reduce the portion sizes. Just set goals that are achievable for you. Forget about what everyone else is doing and look at what you need to do to improve by 1%. And then you can look at the next percent rather than looking at it as 0 to 100.
I know with the way that you've worked with Kim, because like obviously I work with a guy called Mike, who I know, Jess, you've met Mike, and we had before Christmas, we had Mike on as a guest. So like I've been working with Mike and Kim's been working with you, and Kim and I have our little chit chats about how we work with you guys respectively.
Yeah.
And I know like Kim, you've had a massive amount of accountability from Jess, and I think that's really, really important. But when you're not working with a PT directly, it can be hard to find that accountability. So are there strategies that you suggest to people if they're not able to work one-to-one in the way you guys work in one-to-one, to kind of make sure they get that accountability into their life?
Yeah. So what I want to say before I answer the question is, we were watching a video of you earlier, Christina, and the progress, an old video, and the progress that you have made is incredible. So massive, massive well done. You look so different. And obviously I don't know you very well on a personal level, but Kim has said the change in you is phenomenal as well. So amazing work. And obviously, Kim, I tell you this daily, but I'm so proud of everything that you've achieved. You're a completely different person, not just physically, mentally as well. The way that you look at situations, the way that you deal with problems that arise, and I'm so proud of you. So yeah, amazing work, ladies. And to answer your question, so if you are generally people struggle to reach their goals when they don't have the right knowledge, support, and accountability. So my advice would be, if you don't know what you're doing, there is so much information out there on social media, on the internet. If you're struggling, follow some fitness accounts. You can follow my fitness account. There's so much information out there that you can take from and get the knowledge that you need. In terms of support, it's really, really important that the people that you have around you are supporting you and helping move you closer towards your goals. So it's very, very difficult when you have family that aren't supportive. But my best advice would be, keep those people at arm's length. They are always probably going to be in your life, but if they're not helping you and not supporting you to get to your goals, then you need to kind of keep them at a distance. Same with friends. I would say there are so many communities out there that are free to join. I know in our local area we have a free walking group that a lady runs. We have there's the park run. Try and get yourself into a community where you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And if you are fortunate enough to have friends and family that are supportive, then tell them that you need the accountability, that you need them to keep you accountable to doing what you know that you need to do to get to where you want to be.
Do you know, there's a couple of things you said in there that I think I'd like to talk a bit more about. So firstly, the knowledge stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there is so much information out there, it becomes overwhelming.
Absolutely.
And then because so much is, to be right. It's a mindset thing kicking in here now. What I want to say is, to be a successful entrepreneur, right, and then like the mindset monkeys start going, oh, but if you say that, people think it's an ego thing, right? So let's forget about that. To be successful, it's not just about the work you do and how productive you are. If your head's not right, if you're not fueling yourself in the right way, if you're not getting the right rest, all this kind of thing, it's like one we're not going to get to 1 + 1 = 2 if we haven't got all things aligned. And I struggle with my sleep massively. Like in the last 3 nights, I've had about 4 hours sleep. Right? It's like, and those 4 hours were this morning. It's like, it's crazy. And this has been an ongoing problem for years and years. And I'm like, last night I took my melatonin, I doubled up on my reishi mushrooms, I didn't eat 2 hours before, well, 3 hours before bed, and I reduced my liquid intake an hour before bed, and but you end up doing all this, in the day, because I've really brought my caffeine down to like almost nothing, although I did have a cup of coffee this morning, to be fair, but only because of the lack of sleep. So like I have things like matcha and that sort of stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's like you need matcha to calm you down, and you take this to calm you down, or settle your stomach, but actually that's got caffeine in it now, or that's affecting you in a way that's actually keeping you
related,
switched on. So you end up with all this information here, because this is going to help my body process things better. I'm going to cut that out and bring this into my diet, because that's going to be better. And you end up doing all these things. But there's so much knowledge out there.
Mm-hmm.
You end up in a place where you're going like, actually, is there something I'm now doing? Because this lack of sleep thing is worse than it's ever. It's been an ongoing thing for many years of my life, but the last 6 months, it's worse than ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And so I'm thinking, well, I've made all these changes. Is there something in these changes that's actually triggering now the lack of sleep? Yeah. And I think there's so much overwhelming information. To start off with, there's so much information, it paralyzes you.
Mm-hmm.
But then also you get to a point where there's so much information that you're almost like, you don't know where you're screwing yourself over anyway.
Yeah. So what I would say is, in terms of people, in order to lose weight, obviously I specialise in weight loss, but it can go with any goal. There's 5 things that you need to have ticked to ensure that you're moving closer to your goal. And 2 of those things are things that you've mentioned. So sleep, it is so important. If you're not sleeping enough, you are not going to reach your goals, whether that is weight loss, whether that is toning up, whether that's gaining weight. If you're not sleeping enough, when you sleep is when your body and your mind recovers. So if you're not sleeping, you're not going to get to where you want to be. The second thing, one of the most important things in my opinion, is stress. So if you are stressed, your body's a very clever thing. If you're stressed, your body knows that you're stressed. It's then going to affect your sleep. It's then going to affect your progress in whatever goals you're working towards. So there is so much information out there, and it's difficult to say, right, okay, these are the things that you need to do. But the advice that I would give somebody that was on a weight loss journey, the first thing would be to try and reduce as much stress as possible. We're always going to have stressors every day in your life. Like, you come to things that are gonna make you feel stressed, but there's ways of coping with it. And I have ways that I cope with stress. I'm sure you have ways that you cope with stress, and Kim has ways that she copes with stress. So they're different for every single individual. So I can't sit here and say, do this, this, and this to reduce your stress, but there are things that you can do to help it. So I find journaling really, really helpful. Again, some people are like, oh God, I've tried it and it's not worked. If you try it for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, it's not going to work. It's not something that's going to work overnight, but it is a way to get those thoughts and feelings out of your head and on paper. Sleep. Again, some people struggle with sleep, but if you're sleeping enough, you're then going to reduce your stress. Fueling your body correctly. So eating well is obviously really, really important. And fresh air. Get yourself some fresh air. Do you know, fresh air, when you don't feel like going out is when you probably need to go out. So those are the things that I'd say to kind of reduce stress. If somebody's working towards a weight loss goal, eating is huge. What you're eating isn't so important, but the amount that you're eating is really, really important. So I'd always recommend that you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I always recommend that you have, I call it a magic plate. Have you ever heard of a magic plate?
Is it one of those where it's got like carbs, protein, veg?
Yeah. So if you split it,
it's one of those where everything tastes like chocolate.
Yeah. That's it.
So I'd always recommend a magic plate. So have a quarter protein, a quarter carbs, and the rest high volume. So salad, veg, good foods. So them for your 3 meals, and then snacks. I'd say have things that you enjoy. It's really, really important that you're not cutting out the foods that you enjoy. Just because you want to fuel your body correctly and you're working towards a goal, you've got to enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. And the third thing would just be moving more. So if you're working, if you've got a sedentary job and you're working at a desk, moving is really, really important. So for my clients that work at sedentary jobs, I always recommend have a small glass of water, get up, refill your glass of water. Drinking water is obviously really, really important as well. Get up and fill your water up every couple of hours. Get up, move, go and walk to the sink, fill your water up, come and sit down. I know a lot of people nowadays have Apple Watches and Fitbits and stuff. That also tells you to get up and move every hour. You should be moving. So yeah.
But the thing is, when you've been wearing that device, actually I haven't got mine on now, it's on charge, because I've been tracking my sleep properly for the last couple of weeks. The thing is, it's like anything else, when you've had it for so long, like every day for the last 4 years, that every hour it's going like buzz, buzz, stand, buzz, buzz, stand, buzz, buzz. Yeah. I don't notice it anymore.
Yeah. So if you're struggling to remember, if you've got a job where you're hyper focused and you're in it when you're in it, set yourself an alarm on your phone every hour for the alarm to go off. That noise, it's not going to stop until you press on it. So you can't ignore it. It's like, right, get up and move. Whereas with your Apple Watch or your Fitbit, you can just go, get up and move. Yeah, all right, I'm not going to do that. So commit to doing it, whether that's setting an alarm, whether that's a notification on your laptop or your phone.
And this is the thing, when you think about your working environment and how we work and how we focus on work, with, Pomodoro techniques, it's like, we should be doing these, yes, we do focused work, and then we need to have a break. So it is 45 minutes, go and fill your water, do whatever, step away, come back to it. There's dual benefits here.
Yeah. I have clients that say to me, oh, but I've got so much to do and I can't take that time away. And it's like, you're not going to be productive. If you sit at a laptop for 8 hours and you do not move, you are going to be a lot less productive than if you done, like you said, 45 minutes, get up. For me, I do 25 minutes of focus work. I then have 5 minutes off. And that's not 5 minutes scrolling on my phone. That's 5 minutes of no technology at all. And it's really, really important. And it's going to help you be so much more productive with your business or your job role as well.
This is the thing. I have to admit, some of those breaks for me, that's where I create content.
But that's not great then, is it?
And then but the thing is, it depends what I'm doing.
Keep going. Did you hear what she said?
Right. So let's say, for example, I'm doing finance stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, stepping away and going and stepping outside and recording a video, for me, that's doing what I love.
Yeah.
So for me, in that scenario, it is a break. If I was writing a blog or writing writing content plans or what doing intense work, I would step away and go and sit out there with a cup of tea and look at the view. I think it's how we choose to break things up.
Yeah, there are parts of my job role that I don't particularly like. I'm more of a hands-on person. I like in-person sessions. I like speaking to people. I like being very hands-on. So the admin side of things, I don't particularly like. But if I was to do the thing that I loved back to back, so if I was to do client session, again, even though I love it, I wouldn't be as productive as if I'd done client session, had 5 minutes for me, not for my business, not for my clients, for me, to do something that's positive for me, whether that's sitting and journaling my thoughts, whether that's going outside and just having 5 minutes of fresh air. Although you love creating content, it's really important that that's your business, that's not you. It's really, really important.
It is me.
Christina, you listen. What I've learned over the last 4 months is you are fighting a losing battle with Jess. Yes, she is absolutely lovely, but she will kick your ass and she will tell you exactly what you don't want to hear.
It's an important thing though, right? Because we are all driven quite differently. We all have our individual needs, our values, our the things that make us tick. And I think quite often, like, so journaling, okay, for some people, sitting there every day, writing a page at, I don't know, at 10 o'clock at night when they go to bed, let's say, they get in bed, 9:30, 10 o'clock, they're there and they write a page. Some people will swear by that and they absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have a journal. I don't journal every day. If I'm feeling stressed, unhappy, if there's something that's circling in my head, I'll go and I'll journal. I'll go and I'll write it up. I describe it as I go and I write it out, get it out my system. But I don't do that every day because I don't need to. I don't feel that works for me. Right? It works when I need it, but on a day when I don't need it, it's like it just becomes another thing to do, and actually it's not a good experience.
Yeah.
You know, from a mindset perspective, gratitude is really important. But I don't sit and write 3 things I'm grateful for each day. I look for the points in the day to be grateful. When I go and, like I say, sit and watch The View, I think about how grateful I am then. When I get in the car and I leave the drive, I'm like, to be fair, where I am, there's a road called Three Bridges Road. Okay. And literally, as I go over these 3 bridges, I'm thinking, like, there's 3 things I'm grateful for. I think some days I might only think of one, but there's a thing in my life that triggers feeling grateful. I think when I'm driving along and the sun comes through the window and the sun hits my face, you know that feeling when the sun's on your face? For me, that's the trigger of gratitude, the trigger of how grateful do I feel right now.
Yeah, I think because you've been doing a lot of mindset work, haven't you? Like, I know that, like, you've got Green Umbrella, but you've been doing a lot of stuff around mindset. So for you, because you've been doing it for such a long time, now something in your brain just triggers, right, okay, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? But somebody that has never, ever kind of took a minute and sat back and gone, what am I grateful for? Obviously, writing it down is really good for them. But I'm the same as you. I don't sit down and write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. But throughout the day, I pick up things and I'm like, I'm so grateful for that. And like you said, it's really, really important for you to do that.
And it is, like I said, it's finding, like with all this stuff, it is finding a way to make it work for you.
Yeah, 100%. If you follow what works for someone else, like for you and Kim are both on health and fitness journeys. If you followed what worked for Kim, you wouldn't get to where you want to be because it works for her. And vice versa. It's about finding what works for you as an individual. And it can be quite hard to find that. So my advice would be, if you try something and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get to your goals. You just need to find the right way to do it for you.
Yeah, agree. Absolutely agree. Cool. Kim, you're a bit quiet.
That's because I can't get a word in edgeways with you, Per. Jesus Christ. I'm just thinking, am I needed for this? Or...
Have you got some questions for Jess?
Not really a question, but I think a lot of the time people be like, well, like, you know, you haven't got a clue. You don't know, like, the struggles and stuff that I go through. So what makes you qualified? Like, what makes you, because I know that you've got your own backstory, haven't you?
Yeah. So to become a personal trainer, you just need to go and do a level 2 and a level 3 PT. And you're qualified to coach and personal train. But for me, everything I teach is based off of my own experience. And that is why I'm so good at what I do, because I have been through it myself. So I used to be a size 18 to 20. I was miserable. I was unhealthy. I was unhappy. I struggled with my mindset. I tried every single diet out there. Slim Fast, Juice Plus, Clean 9, Slimming World, Weight Watchers. I could reel them all off. And nothing worked. I'd lose the weight. I'd then regain it. I decided to do a lot of research. Again, like Christina said, there's so much out there and it can be very overwhelming. But I made it my mission. I was going to sit down and I was going to find what worked for me. And I did. So I dropped weight. I got to a healthy size 10. I was content with where I was at. I then took my health and fitness to an extreme. I dropped down to a size 4. I was anorexic. I I almost had a fear of food. I wouldn't eat. I never made myself sick. I wasn't bulimic, but I was anorexic. And it took me a long time to then, I went through counselling, I went through therapy, I needed to improve my relationship with food and my body. So I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been overweight and I've also been very, very underweight. Everything that my clients have been through, I've been through myself personally, which is why I can offer the advice and support that I do, because I've experienced it firsthand. It's very hard for somebody that hasn't experienced it. So a coach that helps people lose weight, that has always been in shape and has never struggled with emotional eating or body dysmorphia, or it's so hard for them to then give advice and steps for people to follow because they've not experienced it. So everything that I teach is obviously based off of what I've been through.
Like, that is not, how is that the same person? Let me see if I can get my camera to focus. I'm trying really hard.
Yeah. And that wasn't even me at my biggest. I got a lot bigger.
There we go. How is that the same person? That is madness.
Yeah.
But
It's
like
crazy.
you've just completely changed.
But what I would say, I know like obviously there's a physical difference, but the difference for me is mainly in my mindset. I'm just a million miles apart in the way that I look at things, the way that I think about things, the way that I deal with things that come up in my life. And I think if you can master your mindset, you can achieve anything. Fact.
I think that the mindset piece is so important all the way through. So there's if we bring the social media element into it, for me, as someone that, there's constantly photos of me going up on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, videos, whatever. And it's like right now I think this is probably the toughest it's been, because there's like, we shared a video in the last couple of days.
Is it the belly laugh one?
Yeah, and it's just a video sat at my old desk laughing, and it's only like a year ago that we took that photo, or maybe 2 years ago that we took that photo, and it feels like yesterday, and I don't look at myself now and see myself as being like, I don't see the difference between then and now. Mm-hmm. I know other people do. Mm-hmm. So we put that piece of content out.
So you don't see the difference in that woman?
Oh my gosh.
Are you joking?
Because it's just like the angles.
It's just you, isn't it? Oh, shut up.
But it's like, it's all jowl. It's all that.
It's all jowl.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I think that there is a weird thing there where because the change is gradual and you see yourself, you're looking in the mirror every day, you don't see it in the same way.
Yeah.
I think body dysmorphia is a real thing. Like, I sometimes look in the mirror and I see size 20 me and I'm like, oh my God, I look huge. But again, it's mindset. You have to remind yourself of the progress that you've made. You might not see it when you look in the mirror, but you know that you're a completely different person. Like, do you wear the clothes that you would like to wear now? Are you more confident? Are you more productive? Because if that's the case, then you're making progress. You've got to remember,
because we've been banging on at her for God knows how long to go shopping, because she still hasn't bought a new wardrobe.
I've bought 2 new shirts, two new blouses in the January sales.
But all these things, all these things though, if you go shopping and you try on clothes and you feel good and you feel comfortable and confident, that's then gonna make your mind, it's going to reinforce you have made progress. You're wearing the clothes that you want to, you're feeling more confident, your self-esteem's better, the way that you talk to yourself is better. It's all those little things. People just think, you look in the mirror and go, I look different. It's not. You need to remind yourself daily that you are changing, and rewards are amazing. I always say to my clients, like, set yourself sort of, I call it, you've got your full house, you've got your halfway house, your quarter-way house. Set yourself goals. When you reach those goals, reward yourself with whatever you want to reward yourself with. Do you know, it could be a meal out, it could be a new hoodie, it could be getting your nails done, having a pedicure or facial, whatever it is, but reward yourself, because you're then reminding yourself you're making progress. Do you know, you're moving forward, you're getting to where you want to be.
This dysmorphia thing, I do think is a much bigger issue than people realise, because, you know, I'm talking to people all the time. It's like, yeah, you need to do your photos, you need to do your videos for social media, and they're like, yeah, but I don't like how I look on camera. And it's because we look at these, we see the imperfections.
And I think that comes back to mindset. So for me, I used to be so selective about what I'd put on Facebook, Instagram, social media, everywhere. Now I would happily take a picture like this and put it on social media because I'm happy internally. Like, just because you're
Kim just caught that then, don't you?
No, wait, I'm going to show you something actually. When I ring Jess, hang on, let me try and find. Sorry, that was me ringing you. I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
That is actually the photo that is on her.
Yeah. And that's for anybody. So if somebody gets my number offline off my website and they ring me, that's the photo that comes up. But genuinely, like, I'm happy internally. I don't need that external validation. I'm happy. I think when you're happy inside, you don't care about outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So Jess, we talked about quite a few things already. I think one of the things that would be good to discuss and get your thoughts on. So, you know, we've talked about making time, you know, making sure you've got things in place so you like get away from the desk, that sort of thing. But like for me, it's what's made the difference is habit building. Okay, because I really struggle. Like Kim, how many times have we said, like, I'm going to come down, you know, I'll come down and I'll have a session with you guys, and I've never done it because you're like, it's just trying to make it fit into my week. It's like I just really struggle because of, like, I'm already doing other things. So like for this, it's like an added session. I'm already ticking my like my minimum I've committed to. So it's like trying to fit it in the day. It's like, I've got calls here, I need to do this, I need to do that. But I do stuff here throughout the day. I've got my habits built in so that I'm not just sitting doing nothing. You know what I mean? So like every time I have a phone call, I'm always walking. It's like the habits I've built to create the activity. So, you know, I might not be in the gym running up and down the room with a sleigh, but I'm doing my tricep dips on the sofa and things like that whilst I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. So
yeah, I mean, I do feel like that, you know, that's all lovely. But you've definitely got time to join us, Christina. Not gonna lie.
I will get there.
This is what happens when you hang around with Jess. You end up calling yourself and other people out on their own bullshit, because that's exactly what she does. I will never forget, I think it was the first couple of weeks we worked together, and she goes, you got your steps in? And I always do that for you, because that's when I know, you got your steps in? And I was like, no, about 5,000-6,000. She went, good, it's 5:30, get your shoes on, I want to see a picture. And I'll never forget that, because I've got my shoes on, I got my boy, and we got out, and then I got the steps done. So it's literally like there are no.
How much better did you feel for it?
Shut up, Jess.
So here's my question, Jess. So for people that are, like, so it's different for me because I am like, I've got my sofa behind me. If I want to go and take 10 minutes now and, you know, go and run up and down the steps outside, I can do that. But if I was sat in the office with another 30 people in the room, it's not quite as flexible. So what let's say you're in that scenario, you're in a setting, there's people around you, other than walking to boil the kettle for your next cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
What can people build into their day that is going to be easy, that is about it's building and stacking habits?
So what I would say, I'm going to ask Kim, you know the answer to this, so I'm going to ask Christina, what is more effective, okay, to move you closer towards your health and fitness goals if we're looking at weight loss? Is it going to the gym for an hour, or is it increasing your steps by 3,000?
Okay, so for me, I think this is the weird thing, because my goal has never been about weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
I started losing the weight and I went to the gym because I was already losing the weight.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, I like going to the gym when I used to do it before, and I want to do something for myself. So, but I'd got some issues with previous injuries. So
Mm-hmm.
my journey is a bit different in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like even now, the weight's not a big thing for me, because
what are your goals? What do you want to achieve?
So for me, it's about flexibility more than anything else. For
Mm-hmm.
me, it's about being able to play with the grandkids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's about, yeah, for me, it's more about flexibility and vitality.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of your goal as well, of flexibility and vitality, what's more effective, going to the gym for an hour or doing an extra 3,000 steps?
See, she won't let us on these questions.
No. For me, it's going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's going to the gym, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But that's specific to my goals.
Mm-hmm. So if it's just to get, apologies, my little puppy's barking. If your goal is to be healthy and to be able to run around after your kids and grandkids, walking more is going to be more effective to reach your goals, because walking, you're working everything. Walking, in my opinion, is so underrated. The benefits that you get from doing that is incredible. Do you know, when you're 90 years old, like people that have never been into a gym and then they want to become healthier, they potentially want to lose weight, become fitter. When you're 90, are you going to be going to the gym and lifting weights, or are you going to want to walk up and down the stairs effectively? Do you know, and not feel out of breath and not have your joints hurt and not? For me, my opinion, I would say go in for a walk is one of the most effective things. If you're working for a company at a desk, you get a lunch break. Am I right?
Should do.
Yeah. Most people should get a lunch break. A lot of people work through their lunch breaks, but again, it's so important that you take that time to be more productive. So my advice would be, on your lunch break, go outside, go for a walk, just move. So it doesn't have to be much, just something.
Do you know what? At one of my old jobs, they used to do it just like that. Like, it'd be all the senior management be like, right, 12 o'clock, come on, get up, and we'd just walk around the building. Yeah. I mean, it was a 1 million square foot building, so it was quite big, but it was quite nice actually. If you just say to a few people at work, come on, 12 o'clock, we get up and we just go. And actually, and then it's, you know, you're having a breakaway, you're having that social element that's not work. Because, yeah, it can be so easy just to go, oh, I've got so much on. And then, you know, your brain's fried because you haven't moved for 6 hours.
Yeah. Even from a mindset point of view, if you go for a walk with somebody, that social element, like you're talking, you'll get it. It's just so beneficial to get yourself out, get yourself in the fresh air. If you've got friends and colleagues that go out and talk about something other than work. How was your weekend? You know, what did you do? It then helps with your mindset as well.
Do you know that I feel like there's a bunch of things you can do over the course of your day that help keep you active. That are, you know, silly things that are, you know, I don't know, maybe you've logged into something and you're waiting for the page to load, and you literally just do some rolls or you know, whatever, or standing up and sitting down 10 times.
Yeah.
But properly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel like there's a lot of stuff like that actually people don't think about that they could be doing. So absolutely, yes, like getting up, going for a walk. I'm not undermining that at all. I think that's a really positive thing. But I just feel that there's a lot of stuff that is I feel like there's things you can do while still working, and it is just about knowing what these things are and building these habits in.
Yeah. I mean, moving more at all is beneficial. So even reaching up when you're sat down, if you're moving more, it's positive. Do you know, any movement that you can do is going to have a positive effect on becoming fitter and healthier. So like you said, standing up, sitting down, moving your arms, like swinging your legs, anything that you're doing in terms of movement is going to have a positive effect on your health and fitness. A lot of people that, again, I'm going to refer back to weight loss just because that's what I specialize in. When you're in a calorie deficit, you move less because you're in a deficit and you haven't got as many calories, you haven't got as much energy, you don't move much. So when you're in a calorie deficit, generally people will sit still. Even just moving around is burning calories. It's movement. So anything that you can do while sat down, stood up, like you said, phone calls, moving around, walking around on the phone, is going to be positive. So I think it's, again, just personal. So anything that you can do in your work environment in terms of movement, whether it's standing up, sitting down, circling your arms, reaching up, reaching down, standing up and touching your toes 10 times, whatever it is that you can do and feel comfortable doing is going to help.
And it does, it's amazing. Like just movement creates energy.
Yeah.
So you think about that slump, like that 2-3 o'clock slump after you've had your sandwich on your crappy bread that now's just like dragging you into hell.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, just moving, it's amazing the way it can shift your state.
Yeah.
And I think it's like that in it. So just spending a couple of minutes, and that's all it is, like 2 minutes, just creating some movement in your body actually creates the energy that makes you more productive again, even when you don't leave your desk.
Yeah,
I think I saw a Mel Robbins reel on Instagram or something the other day, and it was basically saying something about doing the action to then trigger the thought. Exactly what you're saying. Even when you don't want to do it, once you do it, it will then release, all those chemicals that will make your mindset better.
People think that they need to wait for the thought to come into their head. So like when they've got a goal, they think, right, I need to think about what the goal is, and it's do something that is going to move you closer towards that goal. You'll then get the thought, and then it'll provoke that action again. It's a positive cycle that just keeps coming. So my advice would be, don't think about it. Just do something. Just get started. Whatever it is that you're working towards, health and fitness, business, life related, just take that first step.
So I know, Jess, like the strapline is more than just a PT, right? So with a personal trainer, you see them like once a week, and then you do your hour session, and then that's it. And then you see them again the following. So what makes you different to other PTs?
The biggest thing that makes me different is I genuinely care. Like, I, hand on heart, care about every single one of my clients, not just as a client, but as friends as well. I know all of my clients, partners' names, children's names, birthdays. I know them on a personal level. I care about them as people as well as about their health and fitness. In terms of what I offer, so I don't just offer sessions. I offer everything that you could possibly need in order to reach your health and fitness goals. So that's everything from nutrition, mindset, support, guidance, accountability. It all comes hand in hand. So the best thing I could say is, to answer that question, is I give people everything that they need, based on an individual basis to get to where they want to be.
Boom.
Boom.
It feels like that's a great place to wrap things up, because I think we've talked about loads already. So that's amazing. Jess, where is the best place for people to catch up with you?
Facebook, it's Become Bodywise, and Instagram, it's Become Bodywise 1.
Okay.
On Facebook, and then Instagram, it's become_bodywise. I have recently started working with a new coach as well, who specialises in menopause. So sleepless nights, brain fog, all those things as well. She's absolutely incredible. She focuses more on that side of things. So if you're struggling with perimenopause or menopause, the best person to contact would be Dana, and she's Dana_become_bodywise on Instagram. So either of us, if you're struggling with anything, would be more than happy to help. So just drop me a DM, even if it's just saying help, and I can give you some advice based on your personal circumstances and situations.
Awesome. Jess, thanks so much for joining us today. I think it's been a really useful conversation. So I know we've covered tons of things, and like people listening to this, they're probably going to want to come and talk to you and pick up one or two of those things, deep dive on them with you. So yeah. I know you've got an absolute mass of knowledge there. So thank you. Really, really appreciate you joining us.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Cool. And Kim, we're back next week, right?
We are indeed.
We're back together. So yeah, Nicole, bless her, she's not been very well today. So we said, no, you sit out, chill out.
Yeah.
So she'll be back next Thursday, 12 noon for the next episode of the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. All that's left for us to do is to do the cheesy wave to say goodbye to everyone.
You've got to do it, Jess.
Kim, you're going to have to do the screenshot, because Jess is all pixelated for me.
Oh, okay. I'll get it on a still. It's fine. It's fine. I need smaller clothes.
I might screenshot it anyway, just so we've got it. There we go. Thanks, everyone. See you next week. Bye for now.